Hey, this is Jake Kruger, and welcome back to Blind Faith Week 11. This week I've got several topics to cover. First topic I'd like to cover is talking to non-believers. To do this, I'm in a biology class in college right now, and I've kind of listened to that, and listened to the theory of evolution, and then kind of taken that and torn it apart to kind of look at the reasons. And there's one fact that nobody, even a non-believer, can argue, and that is that on Earth, life has only happened one time. They've kind of taken all the ingredients that they believe are needed for life, like all the protein and stuff they think go into a cell, and put it all together. But no matter how hard they try, whatever they try, scientists have not been able to replicate this, which tells me something. It tells me that this is obviously not that it just didn't happen by accident. That God definitely made it because the evidence, no matter what people have tried, it's not reproducible. And if it was just like a means that it just happened, it'd be possible to reproduce it. And there's scientists that think they've became close. They've never actually been able to get the last step of actually the stuff they make coming to life. They can make something that looks like it should be alive, or proteins and stuff. They've been able to make a cell, but when it comes down to it, the cell does not come to life or anything, because the last step requires God to do it. That's kind of the same with infants and stuff. You can, it's same with all life, that God's the one that puts the life into it. Humans can't force something to live. They can't force something to do, make itself. They can't force something to become something. So this kind of shows you that this would be a good argument to use on non-believers, to try convincing them that God does exist, because their facts aren't adding up. But there's more and more evidence that adds up with the Bible of time periods talked about and stuff. They just recently found, read in the news that they found a tablet that was used, that had a picture of Jesus dividing the loaves and fishes, the Bible story, and it depicted this from about 1,500 years ago. So it'd been while after Jesus' time, but it shows that there's some of the evidence for it, among with a lot of the quotes and stuff. It actually matches up where the theory of evolution that we just all came to be, the idea that life just happened, has points that don't add up. So that's all I have on that topic. But then I want to cover kind of the end of stuff. The end, everything comes to an end at some point. And sometimes the end is you're happy that something ended. Maybe you're happy that you finished a test, or you're happy that you graduate from college or whatever. You're happy at that end. Or you're sad, and this could go for anything. There's always a purpose for it. We're always learning from it. Learning from then, whether it's a sport that you're in, that you're injured and found out that you can't perform anymore. Maybe God had has another use for you somewhere else, or maybe there's something worse that could have happened later, that this injury saved you from a more serious injury or death or something in that sport. We don't always know the reasons and stuff, so it makes it kind of hard because we're always sitting there asking why. And this kind of leads into my topic that just like everything, life also comes to an end at some point. We all know someone that's died or pet something. There's death all around us, and I can kind of reflect this back to the non-believers and too, because we know when we sit here, if a loved one dies or whatever, that we will see them again and they're in a better place, a happier place, a place with all their relatives, friends, Jesus, getting to meet new people, understanding more stuff that they didn't understand on earth. And this is what I love about God and everything, is that we know that we'll see our friends again if for example, if you took the idea of not believing in any God or anything, there's nothing to look forward to after death, so it must be even worse for someone who doesn't believe to lose a loved one, because at least we can think about it and know that they're in a better place, they're no longer in pain, and they are waiting for us, and we will see them eventually again. Death's still hard no matter what. It's painful, but at the same time, I would say death kind of teaches us also to cherish the moments that we have with people and animals and stuff. We should love the people, spend time with them. When my grandma passed away, I seen how badly it affected me, how badly it hurt, and I started taking every opportunity to spend time with the rest of my family. I found myself saying yes to doing stuff with them more often and stuff. So although death's painful, it can teach us a lesson too. And we always know that the person's or animal waiting for us. I also kind of believe, I'm not going to go too much into what heaven looks like and stuff, because that's kind of left vague. We can guess, and maybe I'll go into a different video. It definitely talks about lots of stuff, nice stuff there and everything, spending time with loved ones, But the question that a lot of people have is that, are there animals in heaven? And looking at the evidence and stuff, I would definitely have to say yes. Animals do go to heaven. I've listened to stories by people that have had near-death experiences, that they've went to heaven and came back, and they always talk about seeing an animal or something there too. Plus, I don't think God would turn away some of His creation and have them not exist up there and stuff. Plus, animals really make are really important in the Bible. I feel like that animals are talked about a lot, especially sheep, whether it's just figuratively or if it's talking about sheep herders. But there's definitely animals that God talks about, and also in the Garden of Eden, He talks about animals in there too. So that's kind of what I thought. So I wanted to cover that quick since I was covering death, because some people go, oh, did my pet that died go to heaven? And I would say, then I believe yes. There's a lot of evidence that backs it up. And then one last thing I would like to cover before I end this one is, this also has to do with the end, but it's kind of a bigger sense. Everyone's always walking around, maybe not thinking about it all the time, but I feel like you hear about this month stuff, the end of the world, what that's going to be like and stuff. And God was intentionally vague on that. So I'll cover several different possibilities and stuff that it could be. First one is then the world could be talked about. I've heard this version before. Could be talked about as in the end of life, that each person in the world comes to an end at some point, and everything. This one's kind of an interesting idea, because God does promise that He'll never destroy the world again. So that makes sense. However, there is evidence in the Bible, like talking about this kind of goes in another end of the world part 2, like theory on it, but it talks about hurricanes and earthquakes and natural disasters crashing in, and I've noticed that they are becoming more and more frequent, but God also says that we'll never know the exact day and time of the end of the world. So my idea for the end of the world is I'm always prepared. I always try to make my choices and kind of think about them and go, if the world was to end today, or I were to die today, how would this choice make me feel going in front of God and telling Him what I did and discussing it in front of Him? And this kind of keeps me doing the right thing, maybe even when others are doing the wrong thing, because I can sit there and kind of look at it and go, okay, well, if I don't want to face God and Jesus after doing this today or tomorrow, I'm still not going to want to face Him eventually when I die. Or if the world was to end tomorrow, I wouldn't want to face Him then either. So no matter what you think of the end of the world or whatever, what you believe, the best idea is just to live like it's going to end tomorrow, because you never know when it's going to end. Or even your personal world, you never know when you're going to die. Some people have freak accidents, trip and fall down the steps and die that way. So the best idea is just to live every day like the world's gonna end tomorrow. This Blind Faith, thanks for watching, and remember, I do have that email account now. It's jkruger.blindfaith@gmail.com. Again, jkruger.blindfaith@gmail.com. And you can email any questions you have, comments. I would like to hear back from people and see what they think. Anything that you disagree with me, you can let me know, and I'll look at it. So I'm not perfect, of course. And also, anything you want me to discuss, if you want to hear someone else's opinion on it, you can email me and I'll look at it and see if I can come up with something to discuss on it. Or you just ever need someone to talk to too, you can email that account and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for watching. Jake Kruger, Blind Faith.